If people are affectionate, then life will be auspicious and warm. If things are affectionate, then spring forests will abound. Affection is like salt in food. With too little, it will taste dull; in excess, it will be too salty, but if in moderation, then and only then, its flavor will shine. Happy lives are not unfeeling but must not be trapped in affection. To be unfeeling is worse than to be a beast, but to be trapped in affection is worse than death. Affection can nourish people but it can also torture them. Once people are poisoned by affection, they will become perverted. They will act like neither humans nor ghosts, but will be unreasonable, hysterical, and maybe even lose their minds eventually. Sort out your mood as you lie in bed. What is the most worrying thing in your life? What has tormented you the most, recently? What is the hardest thing for you to give up? What depresses you the most? What concerns you most deeply? What do you want to maintain the most? What do you want to end the most but are unable to? The answers are always affection. The affection between immediate family members, lovers, friends, classmates, masters and apprentices, teachers and students, comrades in arms, and so forth. Any special relationship that you establish with anyone else will entangle you and might make you worry for your whole lifetime. It will wrap you tightly within it and make you restless for your entire lifetime. This is the array of affection. Can you escape from this array? The array of affection is also the net of affection. Look at fishing nets. People cast their nets into the water and any fish that enter it and cannot escape will be yanked out of the water and become meals on people's plates. Standing in heaven and watching the world, everyone looks like fish in nets. Those who cannot escape from their nets will become delicacies on the devil's dining table. Do you want to escape from this net of affection? It is hard to do so on your own. To do this, you must rely on the power of authority and the guidance of gods, Buddhas, celestials, and saints, especially the divine powers of Jesus Christ and Buddha Shakyamuni, and the road map of the guide. There is very little chance of escaping from it if you try your own way blindly. The most difficult nets to escape are the parents' and children's nets. Who can abandon parents' and children's affection, and are they not monsters if they do? Would they still be human? So, if you do not rely on the power of authority, then you cannot and you will not escape. The second most difficult net is the one of couples' affection. Now, more and more people are not marrying, which means that they can escape from the nets of couples' affection. Many people escape from nets of couples' affection by divorcing. More couples who are sticking to it want to escape but are reluctant to leave or find it hard to escape. In this case, they need the roadmap of the guide even more. The next most difficult one are the lovers' nets between boyfriends and girlfriends, which are also nets of affection that make people enjoy each other so much as to not want to leave each other and be willing to go through fire and water and hurl themselves into flames willingly. Life's joys, sorrows, bitters, and sweets are induced fully in this net of affection like raging fires moving the earth and frightening heaven. In these nets of affection, most people are unwilling to escape. They will even risk their lives, go to hell, and fight for victory in a flash moment, even with their heads broken and bleeding, their livers and gall bladders smashed. They will fly desperately like moths into flames. As long as there are people with whom we care about, with whom we miss, and with whom we want to maintain our relationships, we are in an array of affection. Until the day when we have nothing to care or worry about, with our minds abiding nowhere, our affection filling mountains and rivers, when we always long for the celestial islands, take things as they are, associate with others by following predestined relationships, act in accordance with our natures, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise, then we will not have escaped from our net of affection. How will you feel after escaping from your array of affection? It will feel like a frog crawling out from the bottom of a well into a pond, a wild horse stuck in silt returning to a prairie, a bird flying out of a cage into an idyllic forest, or a pig jumping out of a pig pen and becoming human. The easiest, most direct, effective, and thorough way to escape from an array of affection is to become a Chanyuan celestial and live in the new oasis for life. From then on, you will no longer establish any special relationship with anyone else, especially by establishing a special love relationship with a member of the opposite sex. From then on, you will follow what is predestined, be open, leave things to fate, be free and unfettered, and enjoy life whatever it brings. When the wind blows through a clump of scattered bamboo, it makes a swishing sound, but as soon as it passes, no sound is left behind and silence reigns itself once more among the bamboo plants. When geese fly over ponds in winter, their reflections are seen on the water, but as soon as they move on, their reflections vanish. Do not be nostalgic for that illusion and do not miss the passing clouds, but fix your eyes on the celestial islands of the Elysium world, trek and climb, enjoy the scenery all the way, never stay and be obsessed with any beautiful scenery, never let anyone impede your pace forward, everything will work itself out and you will ascend to the fairy world as it happens. 36 8 Diagram Arrays, the Array of Wisdom. Xiefeng. January 12, 2011. In the vast ocean of Buddhist terminology, there are two words that stand out, two words that inspire longing, prajna and bodhi. Both of these Buddhist terms are related to wisdom. Defining wisdom is challenging. According to the Xinhua Dictionary, wisdom is defined as the ability to quickly, flexibly, and correctly understand and solve problems. In my view, this definition is superficial and fails to encompass the full meaning and scope of wisdom. Wisdom is the crystallization of knowledge, including experience, but having knowledge does not necessarily equate to wisdom. To elevate abundant knowledge to wisdom, there must be the guidance of spiritual intuition. Without spiritual intuition, wisdom is unattainable. Therefore, if we were to force a definition of wisdom, it would be, knowledge plus spirituality equals wisdom. The pinnacle of human wisdom is the Diamond Sutra. The full name of the sutra translated by Kumarajiva is the Vajraketaka Prajnaparamita Sutra, while the version translated by Xuanzang is the Vajraketaka Prajnaparamita Sutra of Cutting Through to the True. Both versions contain the term prajna. Here, prajna signifies a perfect, complete, absolute wisdom that comprehends both worldly and transcendental phenomena, harmonious and unobstructed, impeccably precise, and fully enlightened. It refers to the wisdom that can comprehend the Tao, realize the Tao, cultivate the Tao, transcend life and death, overcome all worldly thoughts, and attain sainthood. This is not ordinary intelligence, it is a fundamental wisdom pertaining to the essence and origin of metaphysical life. This wisdom is not obtained through thought but through the wholehearted pursuit of realization involving both body and mind. This wisdom is what we call prajna. In the Diamond Sutra, the Heart Sutra, and other Buddhist scriptures, mention is made of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. In the second chapter, Subhuti makes a request, of the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha states, good sons, good daughters who generate the mind of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi should dwell thus, should subdue their minds. In the Heart Sutra, it says, all Buddhas of the three periods, relying on Prajnaparamita, attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. What does bodhi mean here? Bodhi signifies enlightenment, wisdom, awakening. It refers to the sudden awakening, the sudden understanding, the sudden entry into the path of enlightenment, the sudden realization of truth, reaching the realm beyond the ordinary. Bodhi is the great awakening, the perceiving of one's nature, the attainment of the ultimate enlightenment, reaching the level of nirvana. From the above, we know that wisdom can be divided into three levels: low-level wisdom, middle-level wisdom, and high-level wisdom. The ability to quickly and flexibly understand things and solve problems constitutes low-level wisdom. For example, two brothers carrying a large box each while traveling, feeling tired. The elder brother ingeniously buys a pole to carry both boxes on his shoulders, and the two brothers took turns to carry the two boxes, making the journey easier. This is wisdom. Another example is the wisdom demonstrated by Chao Chon weighing the elephant and Archimedes determining the purity of the gold crown for the king. Middle-level wisdom involves understanding, realizing, and attaining Tao, and in the end liberating oneself from the samsara of reincarnations, overcoming all worldly thoughts and attaining sainthood, as seen in the wisdom of bodhisattvas like Avalokitesvara. High-level wisdom entails the great awakening, the perceiving of one's nature, the complete unity with Tao, and the ultimate nirvana, as exemplified by the wisdom of the Buddha Shakyamuni. The highest realm of wisdom is the absence of wisdom, or what can be called holographic wisdom. Giving people appropriate free will, then allowing them to use wisdom to create a more comfortable life and state of mind in the vast ocean and sky of nature to satisfy various desires and greed, thereby maintaining an interesting and effective interpretation of the cosmic script, is called the wisdom array. Sun Wukong had 72 transformations but couldn't escape the palm of the Tathagata Buddha. Wisdom is a splendid thing, and humans cannot do without it. However, wisdom is also a devourer of time if not handled properly. Playing with wisdom poorly can lead to the squandering of life and bring endless harm. Weapons like atomic bombs, which destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, are the crystallization of human wisdom. Did Einstein have wisdom? What did he accomplish in his lifetime? What substantive value and significance did his wisdom bring to his own life and existence? Not to mention us ordinary mortals. A lifetime devoted to the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom is the most contrary to the principles of nature, the misdirection and tragedy of life. The highest realm of wisdom is the absence of wisdom, or holographic wisdom, which is a wisdom that humans will forever find difficult to understand, comprehend, and attain. Therefore, as humans, we must both play with wisdom and escape from it. We must never be ensnared by wisdom, intoxicated by wisdom, and ultimately devoured by wisdom. The clever are tricked by their own cleverness. Wisdom can devour those who wield it. Therefore, Jesus warns us to become like children. Therefore, the Buddha warns us to discard the raft after crossing the river. Therefore, Laozi teaches us to return to simplicity, to return to infancy. Therefore, the Saint Muhammad admonishes us to escape the boundaries of heaven and earth with the help of authority, meaning that without relying on the power of authority and relying solely on one's own wisdom, one will never escape the cycle of samsara of the three realms. So, how do we escape the wisdom array? After much deliberation, I have finally come to the conclusion that the method to escape the wisdom array is, keep the greatest creator in your heart, always keep your consciousness clear and agile, and then take things as they are, associate with others by following naturally come-and-go relations, act in accordance with our natures, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. 36-8 Diagram Arrays, the Array of Affection. Xiefeng. What in the world is affection, that it inspires beings to vow to accompany each other in life and death? Travelers flying together from south to north, their old wings enduring the cold and heat. Joy and sorrow, parting is painful. Among them, there are even more infatuated men and women, you should have something to say. Over 10,000 miles of layered clouds, 1,000 mountains with evening snow, for whom does the lone shadow depart? Yuan Haowen, Moyuer, Goose Mound Lyrics, first verse. What is affection? The weaver girl descends to the mortal world to marry the cowherd, the white snake transforms into Lady White to marry Su Xian, Meng Jiangnu travels thousands of miles to search for her husband and weeps at the Great Wall, Du Shenyang angrily sinks a treasure chest, Romeo willingly drinks poison, Zhu Yingtai willingly jumps into a grave. The stories depicted in books are just the tip of the iceberg. For thousands of years, the world has witnessed countless tragic stories of affection, where affection is so deep, it's like a cliff of broken hearts, and longing consumes the jade-like skin. In the end, the soul is shattered at the end of the world. Secret affairs, elopements to distant lands, sacrificing one's life for affection, dueling for affection, accumulating debts for affection, committing murder for affection, all these lead to chaos, destruction of homes, and the demise of people. What's the point of such fervent affection? Brilliance fades, regrets last a lifetime, speechless before the heavens, only